Ahoy! Cyclone at the helm with the businessman alien from the film They Live. Spoilers, I guess. There's aliens. As per usual, the history will be held until after the showcase. This figure appears to be made up of essentially two different parts. I'm not entirely certain as to where the body from the figure is from, but I know the head is in fact a custom mold. The sculpting and the paint job on the head is glorious. There's no paint slop or unsightly seams. As for the body's paint, it's not great. The colors themselves are fine, especially since the scene in question was shot in black and white, but the real issue I have is that the paint just appears to not have adhered well to the figure, so it comes off rather easily. Luckily for me, I never pose my figures. But you know there's a problem with the paint when some of it rubs off on the initial transit through the mail. I was able to touch it up, but I shouldn't have had to. The interesting thing is that the paint job on the face doesn't seem to have this issue. I haven't really tried to ruin the face, so I can't confirm it, but so far from my experience, it seems to have adhered better. The articulation is standard for any human-shaped figure. You know, elbows, shoulders, knees, feet, head. You know the drill. I'm not gonna... Like I said, the paint is super delicate on this thing. I am not gonna be moving it. I'm moving it even less than my standard figures, okay? You're asking a lot from me. Now let's sail on to the history of this blue brainwashing Balian. Before I get to the actual film, I'd like to mention that the figure itself is, as previously stated, a custom that appears to have been created by RShaw5 on eBay. I'll put his information in the description below if you're interested in his work, though it doesn't look like he has any customs up for sale at the time of this recording. Anyway, back to the story. This boy is from one of my personal favorite films of all time, They Live, from 1988. By the way, if you've made it this far, I'm going to assume that you've already seen the film and don't care about spoilers. Or that I've already spoiled it for you and you no longer care about spoilers. Well, don't you worry. There's a hell of a lot more for me to ruin about this film, so just jump ship if you're not prepared. This movie stars the legendary, but sadly now deceased professional wrestler, Rowdy Roddy Piper. The story essentially focuses on a guy just trying to live the American dream. Traveling in search of opportunity, while working for a hard day's honest pay. The only problem is the world itself is not quite as it seems. After coming into the possession of a box of what he assumed must have been some kind of drugs that he could sell for a profit, honest I know, he comes to the disheartening realization that all he's really gotten were a bunch of shitty sunglasses. Disgruntled by this turn of events, he tosses the whole box and walks away with only a single pair for the road. Little did he know those very sunglasses had been explicitly manufactured to show the subliminal messages scattered throughout every piece of media that surrounds us every day. If this isn't significant enough as it was, the glasses also revealed that not every person is as they seemed. Hidden right alongside the human race has been a hideous alien population that has seamlessly infiltrated Earth's societies. Every sign, every magazine, every radio and television broadcast, 24/7 airing subliminal messages orchestrated by the aliens to keep the human populace busy, satiated, and free from independent thought. It's at this time that our figure actually becomes relevant. See, there he is saying such popular and unforgettable lines such as,
"What's your problem?"
and,
"Fine, thank you."
For an astonishing one scene. Yeah, none of the aliens are really specifically focused on all that much, so it's more of the idea and the face behind the human mask that makes this figure significant. Normally I wouldn't go this far into the plot of a movie, especially as one as good as this, as you should probably see it on your own, but it's kinda hard to explain the whole alien thing with just a brief synopsis. Now let's sail on to the seaworthiness test. You know, I'm honestly not feeling it. This stiff doesn't look like he'd know the difference between a Balian and an alien, much less how to survive the briny blue tough's embrace. Yeah, this is terrible. I'm giving it a 26%. Would not recommend sailing with him. So let it be said. So let it be sailed.
See you at the next port.